Sports. My name is Scotty. I am joined here with Lucky and Ekman as always. Periodically throughout the podcast, you will see a QR code pop up on the bottom. That's just if you want to become a monthly subscriber. During the whole podcast, you see a QR code up there at the top that will take us to all of our social media sites. We also have a website, www.jimintonsports.com. If you want to visit that, we have cards for sale on there. Lucky will post his breaks on there and a lot of other good stuff on there if you're looking for more information. So, with all that said, guys, I know we've been super busy. We couldn't do it last week. I know, Ekman, you've been super busy with your business. I guess I'll start with you. How's that been going out there at the flea market?
Uh, lot busier than I thought it would be for a flea market, but it's tourist time and everybody's coming to the flea market, I guess. So yeah, we've been crazy busy this past week with especially Pokemon cards. So I'm slowly transitioning from sports to Pokemon, I think. So we'll see how that goes. But
Like, do you enjoy it more, or it just
the
sells
the
better? That's all it
Pokemon
is.
or the you mean the Pokemon in general or
Yeah, like the Pokemon in general, because I know you were saying that, like, because you had to learn Pokemon,
yeah.
right? Because you didn't
Yeah,
know
so
much about it.
no, so I collected Pokemon back when like I was younger, so whatever 10, 15 years ago, however long that was. But and then I got out of it, and then when I got into the flea market, I started to realize like how big the Pokemon like market is, and um and I'm learning a lot more as I've been going. But I will say I think why I like the Pokemon market more is because there's not as much like price basically people coming in like you know how it is when sports cars people come in, oh, eBay comping this, eBay comping that, this person's going up in value, this person's going down in value. Pokemon, like the TCG value guide for Pokemon is so like pretty much spot on that like when someone comes in, and I always price my cards for the Pokemon, at least I price them where the TCG value is, and I go a little bit lower to give people a deal. Then I have like some good customers that I give them deals all the time, like maybe even a little bit better than that. But there's very rarely do I have a Pokemon person come in and say like, "Oh, will you do better than this because it's selling for better on eBay?" Like nobody actually has like come in and said that it sells better on eBay. It's always, "Oh, the TCG value is this. Is there any way you could move it a little bit lower for me?" And I usually can, I just say like honestly, that's a really big card rate at this moment. I'd rather let it sit in there at that price. I'm really not moving on that one right now. And then like they completely understand where sports cards like you have to worry about what the player's doing, obviously, as and like people throw like basically throw at you like, oh, that person he had a bad 3 or 4 games. His cards are going down now, and they'll try to drop it like whatever 25% than what it's been. And so I think that's what's basically got me back into the Pokemon right now is how, and just like Jared just said there, Pokemon values remind me of the old Beckett days of sports cards. It is really like that. Like it's so true to the actual values, and that's what people try to stay around. And it's really what's even crazier is like Charizards, for instance. And I don't know if you guys know anything about Pokemon, but Charizards are like the Mickey Mantle of Pokemon. Um, and like you can actually like ask higher for Charizards because people just want that card so much, and it's kind of harder to find sometimes. And people will not bat an eye whenever you like have a Charizard a little bit higher than the value. They'll get it because they're a collector. It's like you really find true collectors in Pokemon more than you find true collectors in sports cards, and that's probably why a lot of people have a bad taste for the sports card industry because ever since 2020 came, you got more of those young people that came in that just try to flip money around and try to make money, and that's what kind of like maybe basically I would say divided the sports card world because you had the true collectors, then you had the flippers that wanted to make money themselves, and it really divided everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I
But
I, I feel you on that one because I know like when I go to the show, um, I could tell when people are trying to buy cards at a certain price because I know they want to flip it. And sometimes I'm okay with selling it like that, but there's other times I have to tell them like, no, I can't. Like for instance, like if they buy like one like kind of like more expensive card, they're trying to get like two other cards with it for like way cheaper than like what I
yep,
have a marked. and I know it's because they might try to they might make a couple bucks on the more expensive one. Maybe they're trying to sell it higher than market value, but they know that they're going to make money off of the other two, and they probably think I'm not going to bat an eye because I'm like, oh, those are just like kind of lower ends, but they're trying to get like $10-15 off of like an $80 card, and I'm
Yep.
like it. And typically when I go to the shows, so this is what I've learned. This is one thing I've learned. My first show, I made a mistake. I priced everything basically around what it was worth or slightly less because I was trying to move the product, and people still were asking for it to be less and less and less and less. Like they really want like the card is cheap as you give it to them. And I understand like maybe someone's buying it because their money, like maybe they're just the money that they have available to spend is kind of lower. They really want the card. You do have those people, but then you have other people that come in, they're just trying to snake cards off of you because they're going to turn around and sell it somewhere else. But so now I've learned that, okay, when I go to a show, now I actually ask for more than the market value on the card now because I already know they're going to try to come in and be like, well, you have it for 90. Well, you take, 75 or 80. And I know that's probably what the card's going to go for anyways. So then I can just sell it at the price point that I want. So I just learned mark up everything except if it's like in like the dollar bin or, the $1, $2, $3 cards. And I could care less if someone hands me like 5, $3 cards and like, hey, can you do 10 or 12 bucks on it?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care. Those are the cards I don't care. But if I have a card that's graded or in a top loader and I know it's valued, that's the only time where I'm kind of like, like don't try to get me on my good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because you want to resell and make it $1.
Yeah.
And yeah, most of the time when I go to the show, I won't try to lowball people. I'll look at comps, and if they're like really over comps, then I'll get them to come down. But if they won't budge, then I'll just walk away from the card. But
Yeah.
I don't try to go. I won't go to shows and try to buy things I'm gonna resell. Typically, what I do is when I go to sell, I actually go. I mean, when I go to shows to buy, I go and I look at raw cards to grade.
Yeah.
That's what I do. So like the last show that I went to with my brother a month ago, all I bought was almost all raw cards, and it was all cards that I want to send off for grade.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and then now, Lucky, I know you got a break going on. You got a football break going on right now, right, on your page?
I do, which I will update on the website because, like you said, we've been busy the last few weeks because you got kids going into college. I got kids coming out of my wife, so we're that sorts of busy, But no. So the one guy messaged me. He goes, "Yeah, I saw that you have a break on your website. I'm not really into the unlicensed baseball right now," and I'm like, "When's the last time I went in there? Like, it's a football break right now." So. Yeah, I do have a big football break. So 3 hobby boxes, 4 blasters, 2 hangers, I think 7 autographs and 6 memorabilia.
And what's interesting about the Panini and the tops for baseball is I've heard some people say that they don't like it, but when you go to a show, you see it all over the place. It's not like people aren't buying it and aren't selling it, but I think it's just for some people. But my buddy was telling me that he heard that in a couple of years that Panini's working back on getting the license back. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's hearsay or whatever, but that'd be real interesting if they were able to get their license back and go ahead and put logos back onto their
Oh, for sure.
people. But before I forget, this is something that I forgot to mention to you guys. So Panini right now is actually losing some of their top people right now. Tops and Fanatics have been going in and taking some of their top people and doing a switch over. So now Panini is going to have to start looking for new people to work for them. Now, hopefully, I don't really know. Now with Panini, everyone knows like sometimes they don't do the greatest of job with their stuff. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I guess they came in, they swooped up on some of their best people and Fanatics. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. There we go. Did I talk to you guys about what they're gonna do with Bowman next year?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Huge. Okay, so they just announced this. This is gonna be huge. Okay, so what they're gonna do now is for Bowman, and it's just going to be just this 1 year because they're gonna take it as like first year players. Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, all these old school guys that are that like they weren't around for Bowman. They don't have a first Bowman. They're gonna do that in the next Bowman set. They're gonna all these old players are now gonna have first. Can you imagine pulling like a Babe Ruth first Bowman?
Yeah.
So
that would be crazy.
I'm going all in. When that comes out, I'm going all in on Bowman. That's probably going to be the only product I'm going to buy for like a solid year. Because I think that's one of the greatest ideas I've ever heard.
When's that supposed to come out?
I don't know if I don't think it's for the 2023. It's supposed to be the Fanatics is the ones that talked about it. So I don't think it's 2023 product. I think it's the 2024 product.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. I like Bowman a lot. That's probably the best baseball product in my eyes that I like to collect myself. So definitely be buying up all that.
And what's nice is because so think about it. When you go in and you buy Bowman, I mean Bowman's always been a gamble because you really don't know who's going to hit, who's going to be like the next it player. 2, 3, 4 years down the road. Some of these guys are like making it up now to the majors. Like as soon as their first Bowman card comes out that first year, some of them are just getting sent right up. Some guys, they sit in the minors for a couple of years. So you never know. So you always have to hold on to your Bowman. But with like the old players, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, all these guys, those guys are just, their values are going to be their values because they're never going to change, just like their original cards. But yeah, like what Jared says, Babe first Bowman auto, I'm a buyer. It's going to be interesting if they can get some sticker autos on there because you know how some.
Well, I was just going to ask that, like how could that even be possible?
You
have sticker autos just sitting in the closet somewhere.
No. Well, no. Think about this. It won't be like an actual like signature, right? But you can if you have a player's signature. You can copy it. You can copy and paste the signature. That's not a problem.
Well, yeah, they've done that before. But the player
didn't sign it.
Yeah, that's not a player signature, though.
It's not a player signature, but they can still maybe engrave it into the card or do something cool.
But yeah, they've done that though before in the past, right? I mean, cards have always
had checks that were signed by the player.
Or they've
documents that were signed by the player. They just
old baseball cards where they had sets that had those like autograph type things already engraved into the card. But like, I don't think there's gonna be any value on that.
I'm sure there's some things that they can
there's gonna be. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
there's gonna be stupid value on it in the very, very beginning because people will buy that and they'll sell it like it's like out of this world type thing. But I feel like it's gonna be something that's gonna drop off really fast because they're gonna realize one, it's not really a first Bowman. It's not like it's rookie card. It's just like 80 years later, and then it just has the words first Bowman on it.
You're not thinking like Panini's thinking. They already have this all figured out. All the Babe Ruth and the Mickey Mantle autographs, they're going to be redemptions that no one's going to get.
No, because Panini doesn't have rights to Bowman. That's a top.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of guys from back in the day that are alive that can still sign cards.
True.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to go into the nursing home and like, hey, here, buddy, you know how to hold a pen still?
Well, no, I mean, guys like Nolan Ryan.
Oh, dude, Nolan Ryan, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I said, that. So I can see those I can see an autograph being like, obviously, if you can get autographs to someone, that will go no matter what, even if it's not. But the first Bowman thing, I think, that's kind of cool, but at the same time, I think it's gonna get really blown up for it saying first Bowman when it's not really a first Bowman. Like it's just like a
it is a first Bowman because the first Bowman is just that's like.
So has Babe Ruth never been on a Bowman card ever?
No,
is that what you're saying?
He's never been. Yeah,
so
he's never been on the Bowman card. But Bowman didn't come out until I think it was like the late 80s, and even at that, there was no first Bowman ever printed on the cards. It was just a Bowman product. So like you have guys like Chipper Jones, like his Bowman card, it's his first Bowman card, but it doesn't say first Bowman on it. It'll show Bowman, and he's sitting there. He's actually in street clothes. I have Mariano Rivera's Bowman card from when he was in street clothes. So what they did is they actually took him and put him in their street clothes. But you still have guys like, so you can get guys like Chipper Jones and give him a first Bowman. Guys like King Griffey Jr., he can get a first Bowman. You know, these guys that don't have official first Bowman cards that are Hall of Famers. You know, I just use like Babe Ruth and all those guys as an example, but you're gonna have even guys that are still like very relevant right now as far as like who guys want. They're gonna now get first Bowman, so like those guys can have autos.
I think Scott is gonna get caught holding the bag on this one. I can just see it now. Scotty's have a room full of just Bowman this year, and then like 3 months later, it's gonna go downhill, and he's gonna be stuck with like all these cards, and they're gonna be like worth like pennies, like 80s and 90s are.
Hey, you already know me, man. I'll PC the shit out of anything that doesn't sell. I'm like, fine.
So now we know why Scotty can't come to the convention this year. Because he's saving up to buy all these first Bowman stuff.
Bro.
Well, speaking of the convention, so Josh, we got to plan your itinerary to get here in your hotel and all that. But it's going to be the biggest card convention in the history of doing this card convention, the National. They added 200,000 square feet to this card convention.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center is like, it's split off into two different big, huge rooms. So I think they had it in one, and I think they're going to start using the other one now too. So just to make room for it, which it'll take us a while to get through all that to look at everything they got. And
you guys are going to need days at a time. I mean, just to cover just one portion. I mean, that extra 200,000 square feet. That's a lot of space.
So they do Comic-Con in that same convention center. And, I love my comic book. So imagine the time I spend when I'm going through the comic book bins, but I'm doing that for tiny cards in bins. Oh, I'll be there every day.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking to buy some PC stuff? Well, Josh, I know you don't really PC anything, so you're probably going to try to just find some deals, right, that you could possibly resell down the road.
I don't know. It's hard now. So I obviously I've never been a PC person, but now that like I'm in like the collectibles, I guess you'd say now, and the Pokemon and the sports cards, and I'm like buying to sell down here in the market, I kind of feel like, because like I used to have up in my office in Pittsburgh, I had cards everywhere. Now this whole thing I put together up there is literally empty. There's nothing up there. It's just a bunch of furniture.
Josh, you're not gonna PC
to do in Pittsburgh now. Like I can honestly see I might like, unless I just keep buying lots and I can have something to do there and go through stuff up there. I might start PCing, but I also might start honestly collecting Pokemon, or I might start. I don't know if sports card wise what I would want to do. I haven't bought a sports card in like in a month, probably a month, 3 weeks to a month.
I don't see you PCing anything except maybe some Pokemon stuff, but for me, I'm gonna go and I just want to just have fun, see what they have. If they have something I really want for myself, I'll do that. If they don't, I mean, I might buy a box or two while I'm there just to rip it for.
I think I'm more
interested.
I think I'm more interested in like close to the last day to see if I can go in and buy like a box of cards.
Because people don't want to drag all that back with
them. To see if I can like get out of there with like a box of cards at a decent deal that I can take back to the market and stuff, and just different things like that. But I'm interested to see what it's going to be like, because obviously I've never been to the National, so that right there alone is going to be the first day or two of just like seeing it and everything else. But yeah, I'm excited to see if I can basically walk out there with stuff that like for me to help sell and stuff like that and make money off of and whatever. But I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, definitely I'm signing up for this VIP if I can. I don't know if I can now. I got to sign up for it fast.
Well, Jared said the super VIP passes are sold out already. Now for me, I want autographs, but I'm
is that the one with the 18 autographs?
Yeah, but I'm just gonna buy the general admission. I think I just want to go there. If I see someone that I like that I want to,
but here's an autograph. That's like saying though, if you have a chance to do something, like, and you want to be on the highest level or the lowest level to do it, like if I don't do the highest, then I feel like I didn't do it. So now so it's completely sold out. It's not coming back.
They still have VIP passes.
The VIP.
They have sold out the super VIP passes already. I'm mad.
Remember,
I'm
remember
very,
that
very
because
mad
there was
right
like
now myself.
three tiers of VIP, wasn't there?
Yeah, I
Something
kept
like that.
selling VIP is well worth it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll hopefully maybe they'll open up some more of this. But yeah, it was like 18 autos or something you got with the super VIP, which I would have brought back down here and sold them all. So,
Yep. But you know what's interesting is have they announced who the autographs are going to be from?
I'm
nah, they're
logging in right now.
they're probably not going to be from it. I mean, they might be okay, but they're not going to be like Michael Jordan autographs. I can guarantee that.
No, they would never be able to bring someone that big in because people would be beating the shit out of each other for the VIP passes.
It'd be like Black Friday at Walmart.
Yeah.
Just
That's
stomping over
embarrassing.
people.
That's
I
embarrassing the
know.
way the save $10, huh? That's what you can do.
Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah.
General admission
that
is
whole
25, and then the VIP package is 169. That comes with all 5 days of the show, including the Wednesday night sneak peek. The VIPs also receive an exclusive VIP gift package, 12 selected free VIP autographs. So you get 12 autographs, but they select who those autographs are.
what's it say about super VIPs? Does it say sold out?
Yes, sold out.
Piece of-
That one you get the autographs of every
Yeah, don't tell
person
me.
there, all 18, and you get a 1.5 hour early admission each day. So you get in a half hour.
Well, I
early.
don't care about that. I don't wanna
And you
get
get a
there
free
early.
parking pass, which
So I'm really technically. It looks like I'm only missing out on the other 4 or 6 extra autos, right?
the extra 6 autographs. However,
Watch, it's probably like
let's
Michael
say, for
Jordan,
example,
LeBron James.
right. So let's say, for example, Michael Jordan was there, right?
Yeah.
If they don't select you to get Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
you're not going to get Michael
No,
Jordan.
nobody's getting. Yeah, they're gonna take obviously the best ones are gonna get the extra 6 if you sign up for the super VIP.
This is the National Sports Card Convention. There ain't going to be like crazy names there. There's going to be guys that you're going to be like, oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah, it's
But
gonna be
not
like
I
baseball,
have to
like
have
Ricky
this autograph,
Henderson
yeah.
or stuff like that. Dennis Rodman maybe or something like that. Like nothing.
Yeah,
big.
it's not gonna be anyone like a Kobe Bryant or something like that, you know?
No, it's not.
It won't be Kobe for sure.
No, there's no way.
Anyway,
I
this took a
don't know.
dark turn. Real quick, I wanted to say that the Cubs are doing well. Thank you for Dansby Swanson.
You guys can have him. I told you, just wait. It's gonna come where he's just gonna all of a sudden just
How
he's
the
gonna
how
crap
the Giants
bed
do?
for a month. Giants, I think they're 6-8 or something like that.
Yeah, we're not number one, but the Cubs bats are doing very well. Bellinger, Ian Happ has been doing well.
So what? Like
Swanson.
only 170 more games to go.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot.
Doing well
We're
at
only
6 or 8 games in, 10 games in. I mean, I guess
Okay,
that's good.
but you have to understand, watching Cubs every year, we don't hit like that. So, like, it's refreshing to see the bats being alive so far. So.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that.
And that division's not. No one's really. Well, Milwaukee's playing pretty good, but I don't expect them to continue to play good. St. Louis hasn't looked very good either. So who knows? That division might end up being wide open to where you guys can sneak in and win it.
Milwaukee does that every year, though. They start really good. They play through like the first what half of the season, and then they don't. They don't do much.
No, they do. They do that all the time. They did it last year too. It was looking like the Brewers were going to end up winning the division, and then while they're still in first place, they sell their closer. They ship them off, and then they end up. I don't think they even made the wild card. I can't remember, but I don't think they made the wild card either. But hey, going back to shows, you know what's interesting about the extra 200,000 for national is so the card show that's here local, they just had to expand that one as well, and I think they're actually going to have to end up getting a new place where they do the show because they keep getting more and more and more and more vendors that are wanting to do it. So before it was just the conference room, then it was the conference room. This last one was the conference room plus they got a like this like where they have like their breakfast area. Like it's kind of out. It's outside. It's not like the normal room. It's like an outside type spot. in the hotel, they ended up using that whole section, and now they're going to use the conference room, that section, and then on the other side of the hotel, there's another empty spot that they can use. They're going to use that. So as
Oh
of
wow.
after the show, after the show, they're completely maxed out as far as like what they can do with vendors. So I'm thinking this might end up being the last time that they're here, that they're in that spot, and they're going to end up having to rent a bigger spot because they just had to, for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know if they were trying to get people to go away from asking to be a vendor, but they did raise the price on being a vendor. So we'll see how it goes. I think they're going to end up having to move it, which I don't mind. That's awesome having a local card show down the street from me that I can just go to either sell or buy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's actually really
exciting
nice.
about that. Yeah. So
I didn't see the blue link that Jared's talking about, but
I was
just
gonna,
looking
I was
at
gonna ask you if you saw that at all, because that would have been
just
cool to-
looking at the list from last year, me personally, I know one.
read off some of the
to-
names.
Okay, let's see if you know these names. Let's start here. Tommy Green.
Don't want that autograph, but who is it? Does it say or
He
no?
was a pitcher for the Phillies.
Yeah, don't want that.
Ron Hansen, who was 1960 Rookie of the Year, and his career stats is he had an unassisted triple play one time.
That would actually, that's kind of cool. If I would like to see the play. I don't want his autograph though.
Mickey Morandini, I remember him.
Jared gave you some more instructions.
yeah.
Click the more information from main page.
I thought I did that, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, just like I said, judging by
Maybe someone
the
you know on there.
names. Here, let's see. Okay, so Jared, I
Yeah,
went to the
who do you think is the biggest person out of there as far as autographs go?
from last year.
Yeah.
Ron Jarowski, like that quarterback
Oh,
from the
the
Eagles.
quarterback. That's still not that big at all. No one wants his stuff.
Oh, yeah, and like Mike said too, yeah, they just started charging for that show admission as well. Before it used to be free to walk in, so someone's making
wow.
money. You know, I wonder if it would be worth renting a spot out, like those finding like an abandoned, those abandoned buildings that are like, oh yeah, for lease. I wonder if they
Yeah.
would be up for like renting them out for one day and doing and hosting a show myself.
So hosting a vendor show, you just have to make sure. So whatever the cost of the room is, that's how much you essentially have to charge everyone to get your money back to rent it out.
Yeah,
that's why everyone's like, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I can't remember if this is edited or not, or explicit. Anyway, it's a pain in the ass because you got to hunt everyone down. If you have 160 people or whatever, you got to hunt every one of them there.
that's a lot of people. So the way that they do it, I know, is it's non-refundable. So basically, once you pay for your spot, they randomize as to where they put everyone at. And like, so when you show up to the show before it starts, and if you're a vendor, you just walk the tables and they'll have your name on top of the table, and
Right.
then that's your spot. But if you don't show up, that's it. You're out the money that you paid to sell.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't think it would be a bad idea to try to host a show and make a few bucks.
You could definitely do it. You need enough time to promote it to get people to sign up for it too.
Yeah.
Maybe the next show you go to that you do with your brother, ask everyone if they'd be interested if you started one yourself there too.
Yeah, you most definitely could.
So, what happened, Josh? You said you did your Dynasty League today.
I did. I was actually trying to find the more information because I want to know who these autos are. I want to be so disappointed that I don't like. I'm not going to be disappointed that I didn't get the super VIP.
Jared, screenshot it and text it to me because I can't.
I need to know before we end this show like who these autos are, so I know I'm not going to be unhappy. So I did my first Dynasty League today, which was bad because I knew about this draft for like 3 months. I knew about it before I came down to the beach here. I've been down here for like a week and a half, maybe, or something like that. And I just remembered about it last night, and it was today. So I didn't get to do no research, which I already know. I've do so many drafts. Like I know the players, but I've never done a Dynasty League, so I didn't know how I wanted to build my team. But so I was trying to do it while I was at the my mother's watching. She told me, she texted me, she goes, "Pay attention." I'm like, "Mom, I'm trying to look up stuff for the card show." This is the first show she's ever watched in her life, probably. She's over here trying to text me tell me how to do a podcast.
Well, Mama Ekman, welcome to Jim and 10
Yeah.
Sports. He never
Oh,
pays
my.
attention. He didn't even talk last time.
Yeah, I was muted. But so I'm trying to do this draft while I'm working at the market today, and I missed a couple picks, but thank goodness they were in the later round of the draft, so it was like 26 round draft, so it was okay. But I started off with Justin Herbert as my QB, which obviously most people would know that if you're going to do a fantasy draft, you don't take a QB that fast. But I guess in Dynasty League, like you want to lock in that QB. I think like 12 people in the league, like 8 to 10 of them had a QB on the first round. So you kind of had to take someone. That's who I took.
And it's a super flex, that's why too.
Oh, yeah, it's QB, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, 2 flex positions, and then 1 super flex position. So, that's where an extra QB could be put if you want one. I can't remember who I picked in order or how I picked them, but like running back wise, I went with like Breece Hall, who's coming off injury, but young guy. I tried to stay young in my first like 5 or 6 picks. Like guys that have only been in the league for like maybe a year, 2, 3 years at the most. Because I guess like you're trying to prepare for like the next 2, 3, 4 years, so you don't have to get rid of all your guys in the first year. So yeah, I mean Breece, like just notable players on my end. I mean Breece Hall, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Michael Pittman, DJ Moore, which I think he could do really well out in Chicago, as long as Justin Fields could learn to throw the ball a little bit. J.K. Dobbins, J.K. Dobbins, if he can stay healthy, will be very good. And then other than that, though, it's kind of just filling guys. It just depends how that goes. But it's a dynasty league. I don't know if you guys ever done a dynasty league before? Or you guys just do?
I've never done a dynasty league.
I'm in 2 dynasty leagues. One, I think we're going into our 8th year, and then the other one, I was in it. So the league started up back in 2000. I was in it for the first 2 years, and then I got just real busy with work. I actually didn't play fantasy football for a while, so I got out of it. And like 10 years later, I texted the guy. I was like, "Hey, whenever you get a spot, let me know," because it's very rare that people leave that league. And 5 years ago, a spot opened up, so I got back into that league. So yeah, I have one that I've been in for the startup for the first 8 years, and then another one I've been into it the last 5 years. And they're fun. They're a lot of fun. I prefer them much, much, much more over than just your regular standard draft.
That's what I figured I would too, because I'm like the type of person that I love sending trades, and I love trying to like always be the top person of the trade. Like I never like to give up something I don't like. So I will like drive everyone nuts with just trade after trade after trade of ones that they're gonna lose. What Jared's typing as a book over here.
Yeah, but it looks like he said it's not nothing's 100% confirmed.
I don't want any of those.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope they're not confirmed. Let's cut those all off the list. And that's crazy to me, is that if you're gonna have a show like this, it's the biggest card show in the world, and you're gonna sell VIP things, and you're gonna get autos. Like you can get autographs for like sports cars and stuff like of anybody really. You can't get like decent autos for like a car show. You know what I mean? Like the biggest card show in the world.
Don't forget, you get in 30 minutes early. What are you talking about, dude?
Well, that's true.
Come on, don't be greedy.
I mean, yeah, get in 30, so it'll probably take me an extra 30 minutes to park the car somewhere because it's gonna be probably so busy. So I'm probably gonna get in on time.
You're gonna be with me. I know Chicago better than the back of my hand. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you get
between him trying to drive and the baby crying in the background. I don't know. I might just jump out of the car.
Yeah, and you get those. I think you get the VIP cards too. The VIP packs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can already tell you right now, it's gonna be in the VIP pack. Probably redemptions. I'll never receive back. Like here's a redemption. Here's a redemption.
Yeah, I would really hope they wouldn't put redemptions in those. That'd be messed up.
Yeah.
What do you think they would actually put in the VIP pack?
I've actually after
pack
the
of cards.
national last year, I bought some stuff. I bought a real nice Griffey Jr. laser card.
Yeah?
They have nice stuff in there. Alec Baum, I bought a rookie card of his out of them. I bought them off of Whatnot.
Oh,
And
okay.
bringing up Whatnot, I guess I should talk about the story I was telling you, Josh, about the guy that was just letting all his stuff go for basically free.
Yeah. Thanks for the
So,
love on that one.
dude,
my invite?
I was so like busy just buying them all up.
Yeah,
This
he's
is the
like, I'm
first
not
time.
letting these suckers get any of these. I'm gonna eat all these up at $4 a graded card.
This is the first time I've ever gone into a room and been able to do this. Now they're not PSA slabs. There was some Beckett and then another company. I can't remember what the company is. He was saying it was $8 to grade with them, right? They're a newer company.
Okay.
Yeah, like my brother says, win after win after win. So anyway, so I was just going through rooms, and usually what I do is I try to find rooms that are selling singles with like low pop, in there. That way I have a chance to not get bid up on every card I want. So this guy had like 8 people in his rooms, and he was talking about it was his first time and he had slabs. So I'll go in there, right? And he's doing sudden death. So on Whatnot, if you have your auction set to sudden death, there's no like, how like, let's say he starts a card off at like $3, right? And then someone, bumps it up to 4. It'll start that 10 seconds over again.
Yeah.
And then each time someone bids it up, it starts with the 10 seconds. With the
Sudden
other one,
death, it's the last
with
one.
sudden death, yeah, it's just whoever gets that last bid in. That's what it sells for. But
That's
there
what
was
he
a
was
lot of
running.
cards. Yeah, and a lot
That's
of people just there was guys in there, but no one was bidding. For a minute, it was only me and one other guy. So we without even communicating to each other, we just didn't bid each other up. Yeah, those are the type of players that we were getting.
What was it? You said PSA Beckett. Beckett's not. I mean, that's actually still really good.
No PSA. So it was
Oh, there was
Beckett,
no
and it was,
PSA.
yeah, no PSA, and
That's still not bad.
yeah. But anyways, he was even doing some where he would do 2 slabs and start the bid at $6. And the most I paid, the absolute most I paid for 2 slabs was $11.
Thank you for the
What was
invite
the
on
what was
that.
the grades? Were they all above it? Were they like? Did they vary? Like real low, real high, above?
I would say 80% of them were 9.5 or higher. Actually, probably more like 85%. There was a few like lower
And wait,
ones.
what players did you say? Like what players did
Huh?
you get? What players did you get?
Oh shoot, I can't remember. He just threw it up there. I bid.
You're probably getting
That-
like Tommy Maddox, like graded 8.
That sounds a
Yeah,
lot like a guy that would blow all his money on like a new Bowman product next year or
Well,
something.
Yeah.
yeah. So here's the funny thing about it is that people were asking him like, "Hey, like, you're taking a loss here," and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I know. It's my first time on here, and he had 200 slabs that he sold. Now I don't know how many he had left when I had gotten in there. Like I said, I was in there for a couple hours bidding. My brother ended up getting in there. Another one of our buddies got in there, but he had 200 slabs for sale, and said he was okay with taking a hit. He was just trying to get followers, is all it really was. And then after that, I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nick
Mike got some
Bosa's
Nick
not
Bosa.
bad.
I got the
Yeah.
first card I got was a Chipper Jones.
Okay.
10.
Oh, nice.
Now I don't buy football. If I buy football, I sell it. So I got a bunch of football stuff from him too, because for a while he wasn't doing any baseball. And then I had to stop buying because I got a call from work that lasted like an hour and a half. And by the time it was all said and done, the stream ended. So I was a little sad.
Huh.
So my brother and my buddy didn't
Told work
stop
that
bidding.
you had more important things going on.
No, I wish it was a phone call I like had to take, but
Yeah.
no, but stuff like that it makes me like I feel doing it to the guy, but if I didn't do it, the next guy was going to, so I might as well end up
You
doing
might
it.
as
It's
well
not
do
like
it.
some yes. I mean that's what I say because someone else is going to do it if I don't do it. But
Right.
I was thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, he said it was $8 to grade these, right? To grade these cards, and
Yeah.
he was selling them like all mine were average of $4 and something cents is what I got them all for. You just lost you just basically paid all that money just so you could stream live on Whatnot.
Well, you gotta also understand too the chances that he could have, but if it was me and I'm selling, I'm gonna tell you also that I paid $8 to $10 a grade, and when I bought them at like $2 a card.
Yeah.
That's
Now my brother.
that's just the art of like trying to sell something that makes you like. I mean, even at the flea market, like you tell everybody, oh, it costs $18 to grade a card anyway. So when you price them at 20, 25, it's easier to sell them because they think that, which it does cost them, but it doesn't mean what I bought the cards for. I bought the cards for whatever $5. You know what I mean? So who knows? I mean, I wouldn't say that you were ripping him off or he was ripping like anybody else off. Obviously, he wasn't because you guys were getting great deals, but I mean. And he might have been doing it just to get his followers up because if you're trying to nowadays on Whatnot, if you're trying to be a seller on there all the time, like you have to be on there like every day doing something. So he could be just doing that great deals because he has to get his followers up. How many people were in the room besides you and Mike? And I think you said another friend of yours or something.
At one point there were 17 people, but it was like the same 5 or 6. But it was like the same 5 or 6 people bidding. Was the weird thing.
How many cards do you think he gave out like total?
He said there was 200 that he was going to do.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I don't know what he really spent on them, but I mean,
my brother my brother was thinking that perhaps the guy worked for the company.
That or like I said, I mean, he could have bought a storage unit, bought a card lot, bought anything. And I mean, think about it. I mean, $4. Say he just did every one at $4, and he did have 200 cards. I mean, that's $800 right there. And if he got that in like a huge bulk lot, and his average dollar per card was like $1, even though because it was graded, but like he has other stuff. Like he might have made out on that even on his own, or he might got ripped off too. Who knows?
Yeah, and even for a while, he was like,
that's what I was thinking right there.
He was throwing raw cards in like with it.
Yeah, he probably bought a huge lot. He either is part of the company, or he probably bought a huge lot, and he's still making money off it, I bet.
Yeah,
very much so. Yeah, because he had like I think he had the Beckett. And then mainly he had like 2 other companies that he was selling slabs from. And I was kind of thinking I'm like, okay, if you really got these graded yourself and they were $8, I know Beckett isn't $8 the grade. You know what I mean? And he was occasionally throwing Beckett in there. So now that you say that actually makes a lot of sense.
I mean, think about, you remember that storage unit I showed like a month ago or whatever it was, like 10,000.
Maybe he was the winner.
Yeah, he could have been the winner of that, but like that's just an example. Like, just say someone bought a storage unit like that and it's just piled with cards, and like back in the back somewhere there's like a whole case full of just graded cards. I mean, I went somewhere, it was down here like a few months ago. I wasn't a buyer because it was so much, but the guy wanted like $5 a card. It was like thousands of slabs, baseball slabs mostly, and he wanted like $5 a card. Like he wanted like dirt cheap for him, but there were so many that it was still going to be like a $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000 purchase, and that could be. I mean, he could have bought them for like $3, $4, $5 a card and said that they're $8, whatever. He might have been getting his money back, but I mean, he still probably made money on that. But I mean, it just depends on the sell too. But there are people on there that get screwed, and they like go on there, they try to sell and they can't make their money, but they usually don't do a whole show. That's why I would think that he like knew what he was doing a little bit, because if you're really getting burned, he's gonna know that, and he's not gonna keep like going. He's gonna probably stop. But Jared, my buddy just got a storage unit with Matchbox cards, Barbie sports cards, and comics. Yeah, that's what's crazy. Yeah, he'll make a ton off that. He'll make a ton off that stuff.
Yeah, I wish I could find some storage units like that. But
yeah,
that would be nice. Hey, but so before we go, Lucky, do you want to announce the spin-off podcast that we're gonna also be doing.
I just was gonna I put on their new pods. I was gonna end it with that. So we're pretty much mastered the art of the card podcast, right? So Scotty is gonna do a branch off, still Gym Mint 10 Sports, but a different, I guess you would call it a subsidiary, right? A different podcast. So he'll be doing that with his brother and a good friend of his. And then wrestling podcasts are taking off. I don't know if anyone's interested in wrestling, but me and two buddies are going to be doing a wrestling podcast probably within a month. Just waiting for the one guy to get his setup ready. I know Josh wants to do a lot of vlogging down at the flea market too. So, you know, especially with the summer months coming up, I know you're going to have a lot of foot traffic and a lot of different stuff you can show us a day in the life of what you do. So pretty excited about all the different things. We'll still be doing this podcast too, because, you know, these guys can't quit each other. We can't quit each other. We love each other too much. So
yeah, I would love to turn this podcast more into like just like what's going on for the week. And, you know what I mean? Like kind of like more like just a sports like reminder type podcast where we can talk about little things here and there, just odds and end things, and then like you guys like go like I know Scott and his brother is your brother. You said you're doing the other one with, right, Scotty?
Yeah, my brother and mutual friend between us.
And you guys are going to talk about baseball.
Oh, we're going to talk. It's pretty much going to be baseball, basketball, football, a lot of football. We're going to do fantasy sports talk on there as well. We kind of brainstormed. We were hanging out all last night and we were talking about it. So these guys are just going to have to go and buy a mic. And with the NFL draft coming up, we want to get in while the draft is hot because we want to immediately start talking about like how that's going on. Because right now for sports, it's great time. You got the NFL draft, you got playoffs for basketball, you got baseball's just kicking off. So it's great.
Have you and your brother and your friend thought about a name for the podcast?
Gym Mint 10 Sports Talk.
Gym Mint 10 Sports Talk. There you go.
That's what we were talking about, but I thought it just tied in well because that's basically what it is. It's a sports talk show. So
yeah, I like it. I'm digging it. I think the wrestling podcast is going to be it's going to be just in association with Gym Mint 10 Sports, but they like the three-way dance podcast. So in wrestling, if you do a triple threat match, it's a three-way dance.
Oh, nice.
I think it sounds a little sketchy, but no, I'm just kidding. Three guys doing the three-way dance. But anyway, no. So yeah, it's exciting. We got a lot of stuff coming up, and that'll create a lot more content for you guys to enjoy from us. So yeah, it's going to be exciting times.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
So, all right. You guys got anything else?
No, I think that's a good way to end it.
All right. Send us home, Scotty.
All right, guys. Thank you, everyone that tuned in. Thank you for listening. Again, if you want to be a monthly subscriber, click on all the nice little QR codes that Lucky has been throwing up there. Got the other QR code up there at the top left to all our social media sites. Check out the website. I know it does need a little bit more work right now, but as soon as Lucky stops pretending that he's already had a kid and jump on that, we can go ahead and get that taken care of.
Yeah.
Just kidding, man. But thank you again for everyone that listens to us weekly. And if you're a new listener, thank you. Hopefully you become a regular in here, and we look forward to seeing you on this podcast, along with everything else that we're going to be having branch off. So we will see you all next week.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.